There's been a trend online recently of country boys, which I guess is an American thing because we don't really have country boys here. Well, people that live in the country, but not like, it's not that kind of country. Different, it's very different countries, of course it's different, who are doing their makeup, right? With some great results, bless them, and some not so great results, bless them. So what I thought we'll do today is take a look at some of these country boys doing makeup, and maybe I can give a little bit of my expert advice. Once we watch one individual do it, I then want to do a little chart of their face to maybe help out with placement and things like that. For those of you who don't know, my name is Robert Welsh. I have been a professional makeup artist for 18 years, so I can offer a little bit of valued advice. I do have to say, I'm going to be quite nice throughout these, because one thing I always think is really funny is to see people who have never done makeup in their life. I think we forget how, if you've grown up doing your makeup, right, you have a lot of experience doing your makeup, and a lot of people be like, I'm so bad at my makeup. You've been doing your makeup since your parents allowed you to wear makeup, maybe even before, up until now. You have a lot of experience. So things that may seem really simple to you are not to others, right? So let's take a little look. Do go ahead and subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to my reaction channel right here, whatever you want to call it.
As a corn-fed boy from the country, I don't understand why men these days are always dressing up as women for fun. So I'm going to see what all the fuss is about. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, why on earth would this man put himself in drag on the internet? Well, I lost a bet, okay? And I'm a man of my word, so I must become a lady of my word. Now, when I tell you that I have no idea what I'm doing, I truly have no idea what I'm doing. The only makeup I've ever done is making up reasons why I can't watch the kids on the weekend. So if I make any rookie mistakes, please let me know in the comments. And don't you worry, I'm keeping the mustache. This is clearly not seen sun in a long time, but that's all right. That's why we have makeup. Now, the tutorials say that I'm supposed to start with foundation, and I bought some random beginner kit on Amazon, so let's see what happens. Is this how you do? Oh, like that? Am I doing this right? Oh.
A little bit too dark on a foundation there. Everyone uses yellow tones nowadays. A good foundation match would be perfect.
Lord. I don't know if this is good or not. Am I supposed to be using this brush? I legitimately have no idea. How close are you supposed to get to your eye? Probably all the way, right? It smells like chemicals, I guess.
So I like to do, personally, I like to do concealer first. Concealer, that's skin tone or color corrector. Foundation, then use a concealer, if you want to, that brightens the eye area, so you don't have to take your foundation all the way up to the eye area. You can take it up around here and then do the rest concealer, whatever.
What you get when you spend $20 on Amazon. This doesn't seem right. It's already off to a bad start. Okay, next I have a highlighter and a contour. Again, I'm totally winging this. I think it was like that, right? Oh, wait, okay, yeah. Right in like the divots, right? I remember they did like a nose thing too. I think you do like up here. Then we do highlighter, I think, like right above it, right on the cheek.
Now, to be fair, this isn't actually much different from what you see a lot of people doing online anyway in terms of a placement of a contour. The highlight, bear in mind, it highlights, it's meant to lift, so put it on the areas where you want to lift, if we're doing it really, really simply.
Oh, all right. And then do that. I feel like I'm doing this well so far. This was the part I was most excited for, using the Beauty Blender. I guess you just kind of like tap it together like that. Oh, that's not doing anything. No, wait a second. Oh, I understand. I legitimately thought that this would be much worse than it actually is. I mean, fine. This eyeshadow palette came with the Amazon thing. It was all inclusive, $20. I know that you start light in the corners and then you go darker as you go out.
Going light from dark is a good tactic, especially if you're only using one tool, because then you don't have to worry about the darker shades getting mixed in with the lighter colors. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm still a little bit sick. It just hasn't left me. One thing I would say about this individual in particular is great eye color, right? That bright blue potentially has a bit of gray in there. Deeper tones of everything are going to look amazing on this eye color.
No. Oh, no. I guess I'll do pink next. Are you supposed to tap it? I think I'm just getting too impatient because...
Tapping your eyeshadow brings out more color, more pigmentation. Dragging is just going to drag it across. So where you tap your color in, you're going to get more pigment. Now, especially with a tool that's a flat sponge like that, you're going to get a lot of pigment coming off it. They're not the best because it kind of goes a little bit patchy. Fingers, in this sense, in these lighter shades, would actually be better than this tool.
Oh my god, this takes forever. Now I'm doing a darker red into the darkest color I could find. It's not awful. I mean, okay. Now for some eyeliner.
Oh god.
What the ever-loving fuck? Oh, this is where things are gonna go.
Listen, there's a bit of a joke online on TikTok at the moment, which is half true and half not really. Of course, you can do whatever you want with your makeup, but a solid black line, especially if that's done with a liquid liner under the eye, can be very aging in a way. It can be very, very not subtle, I guess is the best word. So a liquid liner like that under the eye, not the best thing to do. It's, you could have used a tip of that sponge, taken the deeper shade he's already used and use it under the eye, and then maybe pop the black on top, just so it has something to fade into a bit.
South. Oh no. How the fuck do you do this? This is where the story takes a dark turn. I'm gonna try and fix this in the mirror. 1 second. It didn't go well. I think I'm supposed to get on the line, like...
Okay, so what's happened is, ideally, you want to start from here, a little bit further up than he has, and just go ahead and flick it out. Quicker the flick, it's done. And then you can just go ahead and join that flick up to the lid. So if you just quickly draw a line, it's so much better. Your hands can make a straighter line the faster you are, than if you try and go really slow, you can shake and wobble. And this is very much coming from underneath the eye, which is great if you have a hooded eye, right? But this guy doesn't. So the top here is where it's meant to come from. We're quite far down.
Underneath the eyelash? Jesus Christ, alright, I'll try. Oh my Lord. How the hell do you do that? Oh, how the hell are you...
People don't do that. You use a pencil. You use a pencil liner, a really soft, creamy, or like gel-like liner, and do that on the inside.
To do this without smudging your makeup, look like drywall that a toddler drew on. For those of you who thought this was cap and that I had in fact done drag before, you now know the truth. Fuck it, there's no reason to keep trying. This is the eye. I think this is when you do blush. Maybe I'm a little late, but... And also, but didn't I do a contour? Whatever, let's see what it looks like. I don't know what colors I decided to go with. Do you do it up here? I think you do it up here. God, I look like a marionette doll. I think... Just look at this side.
The placement of a blush isn't actually that bad technically. He has quite plump is the wrong word. The apples of his cheeks are more pronounced than the heights of his cheeks, the cheekbone. So the placement here of the blush further back to accentuate that upper cheekbone actually balances out the cheek nicely.
I forgot that you're supposed to buy fake eyelashes. So I'm using mascara instead. Oh. This whole process is physically painful. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Comes the lid. Oh my god, this is tragic. This is legitimately terrifying. I should not have been allowed to do this. But alright, we have one more thing to add. What? This ridiculous blue wig. Oh. I did my best. Now, for real, this was actually my first time. So if anybody has any pointers, please let me know. Cheers.
Okay, so let's look at face shape, eye color, skin tone, everything like that. We're keeping a moustache. I keep my beard. It's fine. So he has, when he smiles, as I said about the cheeks earlier, this area is quite pronounced, and you can see here that there's a lot of volume here. The blush and contour was actually a pretty good placement. The contour was in this area and the blush was just sat slightly above it, which was really good. The highlight, however, I would actually move up a little bit to like this circle area under the eye. For eye makeup, I like to imagine an invisible line, right? And we can take it from the middle of the eye here, take it out this way towards the ear, and this is a line that we're not going to cross with eye makeup. We're not going to go below it because that's going to bring down the eye shape. Then we want to keep all our darker colors within this area here, and then we can have lighter shades on this inside corner here. That's going to give you more of a lift. You see, like I've done here, I've kept the deeper shades within this area and all the lighter stuff is in the inside, and I've taken a little bit of color in that way too. This eye color, red and blue, is fine-ish. A lot of those tones are quite red. Deep browns on this eye shape, just a little bit on the outside corner, the darker shade in the outside corner. Run the darker shade along the bottom lash line, and then maybe a little bit of shimmer on the lid. That'll be beautiful. Lip color, a nice peachy tone to bring out the blues in the eyes would also be really nice. Let's take a look at our next guy.
So I'm gonna see what all the fuss is about.
As a fellow country boy, I mean, I also have no idea what I'm doing, and my main source of knowledge is that other guy who had no idea what he was doing. So I think this should go great. I feel like makeup probably doesn't look super great over a beard, so we're gonna start here. Well, I cut myself multiple times, and I'm regretting my decision making, but it's not really a new thing, so let's continue. Next up, we have some foundation. I didn't really use very much. I will say I sprung for the Maybelline instead of picking up the kit on Amazon, so it smells nice. It's like I'm doing a Bob Ross painting. It never goes super well for me. Happy accidents, right? I probably either put on way too much or not enough.
It's more patchy than anything. This kind of method is fine. You can absolutely use your fingers. The color is closer than the first guy's first attempt, but it's not 100% right, but it will work.
I think we're doing all right so far. I feel like I'm about to go play a football game. All right, let's see where we go with this. I feel like I noticed a difference.
That actually, it doesn't look too bad, right? The areas that are brighter, need to be brighter, are brighter. The skin looks kind of even. There are some patches I think we could have gone around with a sponge or a brush and buffed it in a little bit more, but it's not the worst.
Okay, this is where I'm screwed because I hate anything touching my eyes. I feel like it's pretty subtle, so let's just go ahead and make it look worse. All right, we'll call that one good. Okay, this is where it turns into pure torture for me. How do I... This is rough. You know what? It's probably the pen's fault. I think my technique is flawless. Okay, screw it. We're trying the inside. No, we're not trying the inside. We're gonna call that one there. No point in messing with perfection. Next up, we got some mascara, specifically Better Than Sex mascara. Sounds good to me. What if I just like get it on my eyeball?
I love throughout these videos the absolute horror at some of the shapes and tools of these, you know, these makeup products.
Not bad. Which way do I... I'll tell you right now.
Roll and zigzag at the same time. I know it's difficult for us as men to multitask. I think that's true, by the way. But when you have a mascara, where's my mascara? Best way to apply it is to cup under the lash, zigzag and pull up, and at the same time, roll forward. So you're zigzagging, rolling and zigzagging. That way you catch every single lash and you get all the benefits of the mascara wand shape.
Putting it on does not feel better than sex. Behind it just feels like pain. Am I also supposed to be putting makeup all over my hands? Is that a good technique? It kiss me. Okay, hold on. It's not so bad. I'm gonna say eyeliner, not great. Lips, not bad. Could definitely use some work, so hit me up with any tips.
Okay, let's take a look at his face shape because he has a very unique eye shape. Let me just find 1 second. So this kind of eye shape, to me, when I look at someone's face and I look at their eyes, it's a very strange thing. But I very much match faces to time periods, right? So to me, this is a height of a 1920s, 30s beauty eye shape, right? We have that doe eye, that slightly downturned on the outside corner, that kind of like actress, you know what I mean? That kind of 1920s actress, you know what I mean? And so there's two ways you can go with it. You can accentuate that shape by adding liner, again from the middle of the eye, and pull it just straight out and then just following that shape up, going straight under here and then curving around here. Or if you want to lessen that shape, imagine an invisible line going through the middle of the eye, and you don't take any eye makeup apart from mascara past this point of the eye. And then you have all your eye makeup actually where he initially placed the products. You see how he's put the eyeshadow here? I mean, I would have blended it out a little bit more and brought it more towards this way. But this is a great shape for hooded or downturned eyes because it lifts the outside corner. But can you imagine if we didn't have any eyeshadow past this point, how much more lifted that would be? For example, again, my eyes, all the dark is on this outside corner because I wanted that lift in the outside corner. Oh my God, my throat just went really dry. So yeah, that's good. The eyeliner shape, again, on this eye, I wouldn't take any liner past the middle point of the eye. I would leave that all fresh. So when I look at this makeup, I imagine him in very deep, rich, reddy browns, almost burgundies on the lips and on the eyes. I think that will look really, really good. If you have any makeup tips for these guys, leave them down below. You know what's really nice? It's nice to see people of any gender, whoever they are, learning things and not trying to, it's refreshing content. They're not trying to tell us that this works when it doesn't. They're not trying to say, you know, this powder's gonna blur your whole face when we know it doesn't. They're not scheming us. I did a foundation video where this one girl was trying to get her perfect foundation match, and it's just good content because it's so nice to see people learning and growing and trying new things. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.